When we did the evidence session on our NHS dentistry inquiry, the then dental minister said the government's ambition for NHS dentistry was that we do want everyone who needs one to be able to access an NHS dentist. Absolutely. End quote. I was not expecting such an unequivocal answer to my question, if I'm honest. In many ways, echoing Tony Blair's promise in 1999, just a couple of years into his government, that would also be the case. Are we in a place where former Minister O'Brien's ambition is on course to be met?
Well, thank you, Chair. I was surprised at the level of ambition of the last committee as well when that was stated, and much as I'd like to say that we are on track to deliver that, you will not be at all surprised to know that we do not think that's the case. And I am, as always, very grateful to this committee for this opportunity to present the profession's perspective on that question and on what is happening in NHS dentistry. And as you say, your report remains an instruction manual to save NHS dentistry. The government has, I'm afraid, given the impression that it's willing to skip over your first and most fundamental recommendation, and that, of course, is contract reform. And my colleagues are grateful that you continue to keep the pressure up on the department, behind the scenes, in the chamber, and in the form of today's session. And I'll be honest, having sat in negotiations for many months, my expectations of the recovery plan were pretty low. We waited nearly a year for this document, and my worry then was that with every day that passed, more colleagues would pare down their NHS commitment or walk away entirely. And now it's landed, I'm afraid there's really nothing here to bring this service back from the brink and deliver the promise that was made. But I didn't want to come here and just offer opinions. What we have done is surveyed the membership so that we can give you some facts. And having spoken to countless colleagues, the sense of disappointment and frankly resentment in the profession is profound. We surveyed, as I say, members. We wanted their feedback on this recovery plan today. And we were taken aback, frankly, by how brutal that feedback was. Government has told this committee, as you say, Chair, that its objective is to provide NHS care to all who need it. Well, we asked dentists if they thought the plan was capable of keeping that promise. 1% agreed. 1 in 100 respondents thought that this plan could deliver that promise. To answer your question directly, just 3% said the measures in the plan would keep them providing NHS care in the long term. 3%. And most damningly, dentists don't believe that this will improve access for patients. Only 3% believe that this plan will result in their practice seeing more NHS patients. Almost half believe it will do the exact opposite, and lead to their practice seeing fewer NHS patients. Not fewer existing patients to make space for those who haven't been seen, fewer patients overall. And to conclude, we also asked our members to sum up the plan in their own words, and this gives you a sense of the emotion of it. We didn't offer any prompts, free text. What we got was unambiguous. Cold fury from colleagues who have given up hope, frankly, of change. I read the words "too little, too late" over 100 times in responses. We counted the phrases used most often. They were, I quote, "not fit for purpose, dishonest, inadequate, rubbish, and I'm sorry to say, a joke." It's a pretty good summary of what the profession makes of this plan. It feels to me that this plan was not designed to rescue NHS dentistry. It was designed with the upcoming election in mind to try and limit the political damage the access crisis is doing to political prospects in constituencies. The measures in the plan make for a good press release, a nice photo opportunity, or something for candidates to talk about on the doorstep. But this recovery plan, to be honest, is not worthy of the title. The fundamental perversity of this system remains unchallenged. One colleague, to conclude, commented that you cannot rebuild a collapsed wall with a box of polyfiller. And that's precisely what is sadly being attempted here once again. more papering over of cracks rather than the decisive and fundamental reform that your committee recommended to deliver care to the millions of your constituencies who can't access NHS dental care.
Okay.